What's up, guys? Dylon here, and I want to issue a warning, something to think about and be wary of. So like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into this video. So I saw a post today, and because Bitcoin went over $72,000, and if you remember, if you haven't heard, Bitcoin's the best. But besides that, not financial advice, do your own research, yada yada yada. But the last cycle, the last crypto Bitcoin bull cycle, Bitcoin hit just about 69,000, and now this one, it has hit that and blown through it. However, there's an issue. We have all these Bitcoin influencers, all these crypto influencers saying Bitcoin has hit its all-time high in US dollar fiat terms. So the problem is, if you really like understand money and you want to understand money and you really understand Bitcoin, and you say it's an all-time high, and I fell victim to this when I'm trying to catch myself. Bitcoin actually hasn't hit its all-time high, right? When you understand what money is basically a call option on all the things that you want to purchase, right? Money is purchasing power. So it doesn't matter the numerical value of the money. What matters is how much that money can actually buy you of things you actually want. Ask people in Argentina, in Venezuela, in Weimar Republic, Germany, if you know any that were around then. Any area that has a hyperinflating currency, Nigeria or wherever, where like it's worth billions of dollars, but it can just buy you like a cup of coffee, right? They'll tell you it doesn't matter the numerical value that the currency note is, or the currency says. What matters is what it can buy you. And the whole story over the past 4 years has been inflation, has been the death of the US dollar, okay? Has been that its purchasing power is eroding over time. And it's true, the dollar's purchasing power is eroding rapidly over time, faster and faster and faster. Inflation is still running rampant. One of the reasons why they have interest rates so high is because inflation is not back down to the 2% that they would like to, give the illusion of it being at. Things are, if you haven't noticed, things are more expensive everywhere, okay? So what that means is, sure, Bitcoin hit $69,000, $72,000, whatever, right, in fiat terms, but can it buy you more right now today than last year? And then the other question is, if you would have sold at the top, and most people obviously didn't, but let's assume you sold at the exact top last cycle, and you put it in any sort of investment to hedge against inflation, you could put it in gold, you could have put it in anything like that. Like, you weren't trying to like time the market or like wait for something to dip then go up or whatnot. We're just trying to maintain that same purchasing power of that Bitcoin from that top, right? Not like because of course the obvious answer is you sold at 69,000 and then you rebought back in lower, obviously. But that is different than just maintaining that. You're not really comparing the same purchasing power. Anyways, let's not get into those details. If you would have like put it in gold, or you would put in like so let's say the S&P 500, how much would you be up, right? How much would Bitcoin need to be worth now in order to be able to give you that same purchasing power? And it's more than 72,000. I looked this up because when I thought about this, I'm like, wait. It hit the same fiat numbers as last time, but that's not the same purchasing power. Okay, I can't buy the same amount of things with $69,000 now as I could 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever Bitcoin hit its last all-time high. Right? So I just looked up, and there's a company called Truflation. So if you look Truflation up, they say their number is that the inflation-adjusted all-time high in the US dollar for Bitcoin, I think, is $76,600 something dollars. Okay, so we're not quite there yet. So why is that important? Why is this like, is it just semantics or anything like that? No, it's actually important for a couple of reasons. One, you see the euphoria taking over, okay? Meme coin euphoria is in full effect. Back on bull market, crypto bro euphoria. You're seeing their videos get thousands, hundreds of thousands of views. Perhaps you're overhearing people talk about these meme coins or these altcoins and stuff at the bar, okay? You're hearing new people post on Facebook or seeing them post on Facebook and other groups saying, hey, I'm a new investor, right? Here in the screenshots of their portfolio. You're seeing this uptick in the market, right? All signs that like we're getting back into full swing. However, other things that are worth considering is that a lot of these people are just doing this because it's trendy. They're doing it to make money off of your back. They're doing it to draw you in so that they can cash out. Because look, you can have fun in crypto and there's a lot of fun things, But let's be fair, like this meme coin mania, just having a conversation with my dad, and money can be made, but it's highly speculative, highly risky money. It's going to collapse, right? They will collapse down. They won't stay, like you won't have these meme coins popping off and doing these crazy valuations, but people are out there looking for this. Like, it won't last for forever. It is going to collapse. It is going to fall apart. Right? And so if you're in profits, start taking profits, especially now with all the euphoria. That doesn't mean it won't last for a couple more weeks or shoot, even longer. I can't predict the future. But, because the saying is the markets can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent, right? Who knows with this stuff? Right, we're sitting at almost an all-time high at Bitcoin. Almost a true all-time high at Bitcoin before the halving, which is unprecedented. We have unprecedented demand for Bitcoin. Like, this time might be different, but with that said, what won't be different is the mini bubbles that happen throughout the crypto and Bitcoin bull market and cycle. It's inevitable they're happen. So just keep in mind, you have all these influencers and crypto people that are posting Bitcoin at an all-time high. Well, they're just doing that because it plays well with the masses. They're just doing that because it sounds good. Of course, they're excited. They're excited too. But what that shows is a much more fiat-minded perspective. Okay? Because the Bitcoin-minded perspective, the new system, right? Bitcoin is the new system. Bitcoin is money. Bitcoin is the alternative. Bitcoin is the out of the corrupt fiat system. What that mindset is, one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. And everything should be priced in Bitcoin. And so you're really not looking at Bitcoin in US dollars unless you're looking to buy US dollars with that Bitcoin. Because if you're the fiat mindset, and we're guilty of this, and if you're listening to this, you'll probably forever be in the fiat mindset because you were born and raised in the fiat system. It's not your fault. It's just like, because I was born and raised in America, English is always going to be my first language, and I'm always going to struggle with another language. I'm going to have an American or American English accent when I speak Spanish. I'm going to talk like a gringo, okay? It's just the reality of it. You can't really get out of that. So that fiat mindset is always going to be there with you, but you want to get out of the fiat mindset thinking. And the way you get out of that is understanding one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin, but asking, what important items, goods, services, things that you want and need in your life can you buy with Bitcoin? And can you buy more now than before, right? And if the answer starts becoming yes, you can, that starts to be Bitcoin thinking, right? And then the question is, well, do I need this thing or do I want to hold the Bitcoin, right? Why would I sell my Bitcoin? What things are worth selling the Bitcoin for? Because every year I can buy more things with that Bitcoin. Bitcoin's getting more useful, more powerful. Why sell it? So those are important questions to ask to get you out of that fiat thinking. But back to the influence and all that, right? They're showing their fiat hands, they're showing their fiat thinking, they're showing that euphoria, they're showing that they want the US dollar, and all of this is just going to show like there's immense amount of greed in the market, right? And greed corrupts, money corrupts, and I just feel it, right? I feel the greed, the euphoria. I feel this, it's pervasive, and and when I feel it in myself, yeah, I would love to make $1 million overnight. Okay, there's a famous question. It's like, you have a guy that says, hey, I can give you $1 million today, or you can work 10 years and then I'll give you $1 million. Which would you prefer? Take the $1 million today, right? A lot of people are like, well, it's better if you earn it, right? No, take the $1 million today and then pay someone who knows how to deploy that capital, and then deploy that capital and make more over that time, right? That's the smarter move. But anyways, I would love to make $1 million overnight. But when I feel it's the greed, when I feel that like money attitude, and I see it in the market, and you can see it with all these meme coins and these hype shows and the amount of people tuning in and people that are in the space, right? Just be cautious. Be cautious, because that emotional euphoria, that FOMO, that is often an indicator of a cycle top. And given that Bitcoin's not at its all-time high, right? It's fiat adjusted or inflation adjusted all-time high. Given that's not there, we might experience some resistance at that $76,000 level. Of course, I'm no trader, so you could see something happen there. Given that it's never hit an all-time high like this before a halving, and the halving's coming up in April, we might see some things there. Given the euphoria and the meme coins and all that kind of stuff, that's also signs of the top. Like, people aren't even caring about the technology. They're like, well, crap, like meme coins are popping, so like why invest in the technology or anything like that if that's the narrative that you believe in the space, right? These are all signs that where there's a run up, there's a bubble run up, and it can again, market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. So be careful. So just be cautious of that, and just know if some of that stuff might be coming. That in the next couple weeks we might see a big drawdown. I don't know for certain. We might not. I could be completely wrong. But in any sort of euphoric cycle, I don't think I'm wrong in the long term. When this kind of euphoria, this kind of stuff happens, eventually there's a come down. Eventually people start taking profits. Eventually there's a sell-off. Eventually the mood changes. And if you're listening to this now, you just want to be ahead of that, okay? You just want to be ahead of that. What you want to do is from in this cycle, right? Don't let greed cloud your vision. You want to, if you're participating in this, however you want to participate in this, you want to end up better after than before. And so you want to leave with more purchasing power than you started with. That's all you can ask for, right? You want more purchasing power when you leave this market, when the market dries up, than when you entered that. And whatever that means to you. But don't go crazy. Don't be taking, super high speculative, risky plays, thinking it's some sort of investment, right? That's people try to tell you. It's not. You're just basically gambling. And if you know that you're gambling and you are, appropriately mitigating that risk and you understand that risk, hey, more power to you, right? If you want to go and risk $100 because you can risk $100, risk the $100. If it turns into 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, fantastic, right? Does that make you a genius? No, right? Don't. And so anyone who says otherwise is like, be cautious of these people that are gonna show up saying that they can lead you to the promised land during these times, right? It's a time. There's great opportunity, but there's also great peril. I'll end with this. If you ever watch some of the Planet Earth shows, there's one where it's called Nature's Greatest Events. And if you watch the episode, it's a really good episode. It's fantastic, on the Great Sardine Run. And basically what happens is the ocean currents shift and it pushes the sardines up I think it's the eastern coast of Africa, right, closer to the India side. So it pushes the sardines, cold water gets pushed up the coast. And so you get massive schools of sardines that get basically shoved up this narrow channel of habitable water for them up the coast. And it just creates a massive concentration of these fish that a bunch of other animals feed on. And so it's a frenzy. And so it happens really fast, right? It's a certain time of year, and the animals kind of sense it. They can kind of feel it, so they start showing up. You got whales, you got birds, you got people, you got dolphins, you got sharks, everything, right, to feast on these sardines. And so they show up, but then as soon as they feast, they frenzy, and then boom, all of a sudden it's gone. It's over, right? Just like that. And so that's what these hype cycles in crypto and Bitcoin can be like, is just like that frenzy. So I implore you to go watch that and just be ready for this stuff, but know that it's going to come to an end. And you don't want to be super long, right, when the market's going super short. And if you feel all that greed and that euphoria happening in the marketplace, it might be a time to just, hey, take some profits, be a little conservative with things, and doesn't mean not have any exposure to the upside, but protect against the downside and ensure that you can leave with more than you came in with. Anyways, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.